Hi, I'm Jenny Brew. My website is Nomadic Hero. This video is a how-to video. It's your tutorial that goes through the step-by-step process around giving a free lead magnet that is delivered after a subscriber fills in an opt-in form from a landing page. Now, when you give your email address in exchange for a valued lead magnet, you give your consent to receive further emails from that marketer. I've done an earlier video that looked at the points you need to consider when putting together a lead magnet in your email marketing. Now, the role the lead magnet plays is really important. Please see this video if you haven't done so already. The link to this video is below, and I think it's just up there above my head somewhere, the thumbnail. Now, if you're very new to email marketing, then you could help yourself a lot by taking a look at this free step-by-step introduction to affiliate marketing. The link is below this video. This is a course created by Philip Borman. I've completed the course myself and I totally recommend the training, and it comes at a great price, free. Email marketing is step 10. The end of the free section is step 12. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel before, please do so. A like would be appreciated as well. Okay, let's get started. This is the dashboard of my website, Nomadic Hero. I use Thrive Architect to create landing pages through this Thrive dashboard here. This is Thrive Architect, and this is where you can create content and conversion optimized landing pages. So to get started, we go to Pages. This is the page that is a landing page, and I was planning to show you how to create this from scratch. It's very useful to go through, so I'll keep this one open so we can refer to it, but we will now go and create a brand new page. Add new, give it a name. Publish it, launch Thrive Architect. Okay, now to create this page, it's wanting to know whether I just want to create a normal page, which will have the footer and so forth in there, or a pre-built landing page. Now, if we have to take a quick look at the pre-built landing pages, you can see there's some older ones here. There's a legacy landing page. There's a lot more of them. There's more choice, and they're still pretty good. So the sort of thing we want is something simple. You don't want a cluttered landing page. You don't want to distract people. Now I'll take a look at this one. There are 4 pages in here, so let's see what they look like. Now I have downloaded each of the 4 pages as a separate landing page for each one. I've done this so that you can get a better look at what these pages are and how they're put together. So this is the very first page, and basically it's pretty simplistic. You could use it for, as I say, a welcome message for your subscribers, or you could use it to send a newsletter, promote a product or affiliate offer. Now basically it's just a video. You would put your own video in here. You've got a call to action button. Now that is a very, very simple page. Now your call to action button will obviously work in concert with whatever purpose you have for this particular page. It could in fact be an opt-in form if you wished. Okay, so that is a landing page, or in this scenario you could actually call it a bridge page. It takes you from one section to another with an explanation. Let's have a look at the second landing page that was in that group. Now this one is probably one that you're probably more familiar with, and it would be giving away a free lead magnet, free report as it says here, in return for clicking this button. And you'll find once you've clicked this button there will be an opt-in for our email address, probably name and address, sitting in under here. And again, this one explains what the purpose of the report is, and we reveal 5 steps we've used to optimize landing pages. What they are doing here is inviting you in. They're providing you with information that you wouldn't necessarily see as desirable if you are an affiliate marketer. The third page that was in this group that we looked at is in fact a page that says go to your inbox, open your email that's there with this subject 9, and click the link. So this is making your lead magnet available to the subscriber once they've provided their email address, and it's telling them what to do and how to get it. And in this particular case, they have to go to the email to get it, so it's far less likely you're going to get a dud email. The person really wants to get that download. And page 4 looks like this, and you will have seen this too. This is an alternate way that you can provide that lead magnet and give it to the person who is subscribing. So it goes to an immediate download here. Interestingly enough, on this one, they're also using this thank you page in an alternate way, and that is by providing some more information to try and get that person to stay on your blog post for as long as possible. So they're referring them on to other areas of interest for them. Also, you can share it with a friend, so there is a means here to send this information to Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media accounts that you want to use. Now, this is a simple landing page that I use. What we are going to do is replicate this so that you can understand what elements make up this page. There are 8 elements that need to be catered for in this page. Numbers 1, 3 and 5 are text inputs. 2 and 4 are dividers, which are a dotted line between each of the sections. Number 6 is the opt-in, name, address and the GDPR checkbox, which is absolutely required. Number 7 is the button, which connects with your autoresponder. And number 8, last but not least, but very important, is the footer, the legal requirements that you actually need to include in this landing page. Let's now take a look at the landing page that we are going to create from a blank page. Now I'm starting to create the replicated landing page, and I do this by Thrive Architect. Down the right hand side here there's different elements, so you start putting elements down. The first element, number 1, is text, which we can just put here. Okay, there's the text. Next one is a divider, which we can put underneath. This little arrow over here was telling me where I could put it. The next one is a text again, down here, and again another divider, and then again another piece of text. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we need to add an opt-in, which I think has got a different name here. Here it is, lead generation. Okay, now we'll put that in. Now with lead generation, it asks you which template you want to use. Now we want something that's fairly simple. I might just choose this one, I think. So you can see it puts in name, email address, sign up button. So that's all done at once. That's the 6 and the 7 that I noted earlier. Now we need to put in a background section underneath here for the footer. The footer area is a different color, it's black. So I'll need to add a background. Come back at another time and change a lot of this. So we'll go back to the top and then start putting in some names and so forth and fixing it up. I'm going to move this piece of text followed by divider, the next piece of text, the divider, and another piece of text. Now, by the way, this is your headline through here. This is really important, and these are the reasons why this product works. And now you can use this up here to center your text. Okay, now we've got a divider here, which we want to choose a style which probably looks more like this one. Now you can see that has made the change. That's good. Don't forget to save your work as you go along. Next piece of text, I'll just get rid of that. Now we need to center that. We need to make it bigger. We go to main options up here. Now you can see you can change the font size using this. Oops, I'm in the wrong one. Font size here. Now what we want to do is change the color. The automatic colors came across when I started this off, the automatic colors used on my website. Now I think this one was a red. What I will do is unlink that, that's better. I'll change this color to a grey. Okay, that's looking a lot better than it was. Okay, we've now got the first text box centered. We've got our divider. Now if you do get stuck with your dividers, it can get a bit tricky with these background sections here. You can see the breadcrumbs up here. With the background section, sometimes you find you can't get the spacing quite right. And if you do that and you click into the background section over here, what you can do is find that this minimum height between the dividers is controlled here, as you can see. Yep. So you can adjust that to whatever width you like. We've got our next text box here with the right colors. We've underlined free. We've got our next divider been put in the same way as the one above. I've brought the next text box in. That was our reason for offering the product and the problem that it was going to solve. And we've now got our opt-in or our text generation box that is put here that we need to do some work on to this form. Now this is really the guts of the whole page, is to get this piece right, and this is a tricky piece. So we can go over here and look at the different form elements. Now you can see you need a connection, an API connection here. This is to your autoresponder. So if I click on this, I have an automatic connection to get response, which is my account, so I would make that get response. And what it does, it asks if this email is collected, what list do you want to put it into, so you can have a look at all the different lists that you've got. I'll just leave it like that for the moment and say yep, and it'll come in on cycle day 1, which is if you've got a list email correspondences that you want to send out, some swipes, then you'd set it onto whatever cycle day that you wanted to. Usually it probably start at 0 if they're a brand new subscriber, and then you would apply, and that would lock it all in for you. But don't forget to connect to your autoresponder here. This is the whole reason for connecting this, and test it and make sure it works. Now what we've got here is 1, 2, we've got a name and an email address, which is probably fine. You can change the wording on this if you don't like it. But what we do need to do is get our checkbox in for GDPR. Now the way you do that is add new form elements, and what we want to do is we can change, as I said, this name. You might want to change it to maybe first name, placeholder. Change that to first name if you want it. Now you can show a label that puts the name up the top. I don't think we really want to do that. Okay, so that's the first placeholder. Let's have a look at the next one. I would probably just want to make that email address. That's okay. So we now want to add our GDPR checkbox. So if we have a look at the field type, it gives us a drop down list here, and we can see the checkbox that we are required to put in is at the bottom here. So we click on that. We can show a label if we wish. It says define which connections will receive data when it's not ticked, and we don't want it to do anything. If they don't tick it, they don't enter the email address is not acceptable. Okay, we don't need that, so we'll just apply that. Now what you can see here is I consent having my information processed in order to receive marketing material by email or phone. Now the reality is you probably wouldn't be doing this by phone anyway. You can turn this please confirm button off if you want by unclicking. No, you can't. Here we go. This is where you check the box. So if you turn that label off, now we've got our form here like this. Now what I would like to do is change this wording, this text here. Now in accordance with the colors in the other form, we need to change this color here from this color, main accent color, and we want to change that to a blue, not that color blue, but anyway, you can match up the colors if you really want to. You can use the hex here and you can get it from the previous one to match it, but I'll stick with that for the moment. Now to change the wording on my button, I have to make sure that I'm in edit form elements. You get this little form down here showing editing form. It's the only way you can get into it. Now this is all in caps. If you press this button over here, the transform button, you'll get what you want, and you probably want to make that bigger. That's better. Now let's say this is done. There we go. Now this little icon can be moved as well. There's a whole series of icons you can change as well. Now I think that pretty well works the way it is. If this box is not ticked, then the email address will not be collected until such time as the box is ticked. This has to be a linkage with your privacy policy that should already be on your website. So all we need to do now to finish this off is change this background section down here. Okay, are we in background? Yes. And we want to change this from a white to a black. Now you've seen that I've turned the opacity right up there to get that really black colour happening. And apply. Now what we need to do is get our privacy information, and we can go over here, click this from here, and now we probably want this to be in white. Now again, we might want to center these. All we need to do is just move this down a little bit. Line spacing, let's we can space this out a little bit, and we want to increase this number here. There we go. Okay, and that then should be saved. Now the only thing that remains to be said here now is be aware that you should be checking this to make sure that it looks the same on all devices. At the moment it's set on desktop. If you want to have a look at it on iPad or some sort of tablet, this is the way it will look. And most importantly, make sure, oh that doesn't work, make sure that you have a look at it on mobile. Now you can actually change some of the spacing and so forth to make sure that the mobile presentation is better. Now with this text in this particular case, I would probably just make this font size a bit smaller so you don't break up any words. That's better. Just go down, have a look, make sure this is okay. That button is definitely problematic. We'll need to get into edit. And we'll make it smaller so it fits. There, I'll get started now. There, how about that? That's better. And then you make sure this is okay here. You say done, and now it should be set up for your mobile. Now this is not perfect. I don't have time to make this perfect. That's where we started. This is where we're finished on mobile and desktop. Okay, so that seems to work. Now while I've been doing this, I've only been using this add element button that you've seen me using. What you should know, and why you wouldn't do the process I just did, that was purely for demonstration purposes, you would actually go into settings. If you've spent a lot of time creating a landing page, you would actually save that landing page. You'd keep it as a future template because you wouldn't want to go through that all over again. Import the landing page. If I go into there's a list in there, and it'll actually show you each and every one that you've got set up. that actually makes it much easier just to keep working on a template. And that's why right at the start of this video I started showing what those templates look like. It would always be my view, and this is just me, that you should start from a template because you'll save yourself a lot of time by doing that. One more thing to mention, and what you can do here is create a new test. You can pick up and create a variation. You will change one thing to create a variation, and this is the way in which you would do it. Now, I'm not going to go and set up a whole new one, but what I will do is show you one that I've set up previously, just so you can see what it looks like. That's what it looked like before. So I've taken this top text box, put it in here, and basically squished it up a bit, so 3 lines in the headline became 2 lines, as you can see here. So basically it was just a simpler version of the landing page in the first place. Now the results look something like this. This is nothing brilliant. As I said, this was more playing around than anything else, because to get a decent size sample you need at least 100 in each of these ones, and the numbers are too small to make any sort of decisions on, but it just gives you an idea of setting up 2 different landing pages. You can split them 50-50 and then see what happens as they go through the landing page. Even in this instance, it's suggesting that the more minimal version is fractionally more successful, but I wouldn't really take that as meaning anything at this stage. There's too much else happening to take this as gospel. Well, that takes us to the end of this video. I hope that you have found some value in this video. If you haven't been to this channel before, please subscribe and leave me a like. Now, if you need some help with your online business, there's plenty of free training down below this video in the description. Go and have a look there. You might find that identify some of the areas that you may be struggling with, particularly in email marketing. There is free training there as well. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.